So let's talk about the housing market, specifically something that affects pretty much anyone looking to buy a new home. You see, the confidence among U.S. home builders, it's falling. And it's not a new thing either. So what's really going on here? And what's it mean for the rest of us? Let's get into it.
Okay, let's start with just one number, 36. This right here is the number that has the entire housing industry holding its breath. It's the latest score on the Builder Confidence Index, and honestly, it tells a story of some serious pessimism. But what's really hiding behind this one critical number? Here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at the confidence crash itself. Then we'll dig into why builders are feeling this way. After that, we'll get into the hard data, see if we can find any glimmers of hope, and then we'll take a look at the road ahead.
All right, first things first, we have to understand that this isn't just a bad month. Nope, this is a pattern, a negative trend that's been going on for the better part of a year now.
So what is this NAHB index anyway? Well, think of it like a monthly poll where builders grade the market. Anything below 50 means more builders think conditions are bad than good. So at 36, yeah, we're deep in negative territory. But the real kicker? We've been stuck down here for 10 months straight. That tells you this isn't just a blip, it's a serious, deep-seated problem. And that brings us to the big question, right? Why? Why do the very people who build our homes feel so down about the market right now?
In this next part, we're going to get into the why of it all, the core challenges that are really dragging that confidence score through the mud.
And it really comes down to a triple whammy. First, the land itself. Just the dirt to build on is super expensive. Second, the cost of everything else, lumber, labor, the whole shebang, also through the roof. And then you've got the final piece of the puzzle, the buyer. They're looking at crazy high prices and mortgage rates and just can't make the numbers work. It's the perfect storm.
Now, this quote from the NAHB chairman himself is so telling. It shows you the limits of the market. He's basically saying, look, we're trying everything. We're cutting prices. We're throwing in incentives, but it's just not enough. The core problem of affordability is so big that even a sale isn't getting people to buy.
Okay, so that's the vibe, the feeling out there. But feelings can be, well, fuzzy. So let's look at the cold, hard data and see how this pessimism is actually playing out in the real world. First off, you can see this is a nationwide thing, but it's definitely not hitting every place the same way. Confidence is kind of limping along in the Northeast and Midwest, both at 43. But wow, look at the West and the South. It drops off a cliff. So yeah, everyone's feeling the squeeze, but the pain is way, way worse in certain parts of the country.
And now, let's zoom in on the real heart of the market, single-family homes. This is where the slowdown isn't just a number on a chart, it's something you can really see and feel.
This table really shows you the impact. Housing starts, that's new construction that's actually started, and building permits, that's the green light for future houses, both took a big hit in 2025. Just look at that year-over-year change. We're not just building less right now, we're also planning to build a lot less in the future.
Let's just focus on that first number for a second. A nearly 7% drop in new single-family homes breaking ground. That is a huge pullback from the industry. It's a massive slowdown. And then, boom, right after that, you see an even bigger drop in the permits for houses that haven't even been started yet. This is so key because it means the pipeline of new homes is shrinking even faster than what's currently being built. It's a huge red flag that builders think this slowdown is here to stay.
And here's the so what behind those numbers. It all comes down to risk. Builders are just plain scared of spending all this money to put up houses that nobody will buy. And why would that happen? Because you, the potential buyer, are staring down mortgage rates over 6% and thinking, whoa, can I really afford this? It's a standoff.
Okay, I know, that all sounds pretty bleak, but it's not all doom and gloom. Let's shift gears for a minute and see if we can find any silver linings in all of this.
And here is a potentially big one. While mortgage rates for buyers are a huge problem, the interest rates for builders themselves have actually started to tick down. The cost for them to borrow money for land and for spec construction, when they build a house hoping someone will buy it later, that actually got cheaper in late 2025. That takes a little bit of the pressure off, which is a genuinely good sign.
And here's another interesting twist. It seems if people aren't moving, they're improving. The home remodeling market is actually doing pretty well. So while money isn't pouring into brand new houses, people are definitely still spending a lot to upgrade the homes they already live in.
So after all that, where are we? For our last section, let's look at the road ahead, what the biggest obstacles are, and what some of the proposed solutions look like. This quote right here is a huge reality check. It basically says that even if buyers magically showed up with cash tomorrow, the industry itself has these deep structural problems. Not enough skilled workers, those crazy land costs, and tangled local regulations, those things aren't just going to disappear overnight. They're long-term problems.
So what's the big idea to fix this? Well, the industry's top economist says it's all about policy changes. He's talking about new laws and regulations designed to, as he puts it, bend the construction cost curve. In plain English, make it cheaper to build so they can finally start making homes people can actually afford.
And that really leaves us with the million-dollar question, doesn't it? On one hand, you have builders facing these insane costs. On the other, you have buyers who are too nervous to make a move. The whole situation is incredibly complicated, and it really makes you wonder, what's it actually going to take to build our way out of this mess and into a future where people can afford a place to live?